FX welcomes you back to the Winston at Lowe Motor Speedway. This is a Visa Race Break with Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers from the Hollywood Hotel. 26 laps through 40, the first of 3 segments here at the Winston. It's been all Chevys. Harvick leading 12 laps. Tony Stewart, your current leader. Jeff, they've made the mandatory pit stops. Anything you saw there that you liked or didn't like?
Right now, I'm just trying to see, the way the guys came in as they were going off the racetrack. 48 car right there, Jimmy Johnson, his crew really performed great because he came in 11th, moved all the way up to 3rd, along with Terry Labonte. He was 12th, and now he finds himself already up in the top 5. So pit stops and pit strategy have already been played out here in the Winston.
Tony Stewart in his 5th Winston appearance. The best finish was a 2nd. He was fastest in the Winston final practice. Also, he has a birthday coming on Tuesday. He'll be 31 years old, he will be 31. It could be a very happy birthday for Tony if he continues to lead and possibly win this. Let's go upstairs, get more with Mike, Darrell, and Larry.
Tony Stewart, a 1.2-second lead, but here's the battle for the bubble. And it's a good one.
It's a battle. Man.
4 cars from 18th through 21st.
Yeah, right now Ricky Rudd would be the car that would not make it in the 21 car. But he's all over the back of Rusty Wallace in that 2 car. And
behind Rudd come McMurray, Sadler, and Benson. The drivers in danger of not transferring to segment 2.
Well, Rusty's car is just not handling near what he thought I think his car was going to handle tonight. He was actually pretty happy with that race car last night.
I tell you, the cat's handling those that 48 car. He was up under Harvick down here in turn 3 last time by. Couldn't quite make the pass, fell back in behind him. But he is really mowing them down right now. He's about as quick as Stewart. I think if he can get by Harvick here anytime soon.
And I think the obvious thing that shows you he's got a quick race car, Jeff Hammond talked about the work those guys did on pit road. Remember, he started this race in 16th position.
The other big mover has been Jeff Burton, who's come from 24th, last on the grid, to 17th.
And I don't believe that's the governor driving that 5 car either.
Oh, that's a great story. Governor of North Carolina the other day took one of the Hendrick show cars and ran some fast laps, but put it against the wall in turn 2, crashed it, came out in pre-race and ran some laps and had a much better time tonight.
Yeah, he drove the 5 car tonight, and I think they may have put a restrictor plate on it because he was a little too racy in that practice session.
For the transfer spot, Rusty Wallace, the number 2, has it. Ricky Rudd wants it.
There you see the leader in the right, Tony Stewart. There you see the real battle. And again, remember the top 20 cars in this segment, they move on. The other 4 cars, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and they're running out of time too, Larry. I mean, we're at the 32nd lap, so we got 8 to go.
And next week, we're right back here at Lowe's Motor Speedway for NASCAR's longest event, the Coca-Cola 600.
And you know what? They won't run it any differently. I mean, in all honesty, you go out there just like Tony is tonight. You drive these cars nowadays as hard as they'll go every lap.
Stewart about a 10th a lap quicker than Kevin Harvick.
Boy,
Jimmy Johnson's there.
He can get down in underneath of Harvick, but he can't make the pass. He needs the whole racetrack, and Harvick's not willing to give that to him just yet.
I'm going to tell you what, all the Hendrick cars are on the mark tonight. See Jimmy Johnson in the 48 running 3rd, Terry Labonte's up there in the 5 car in 6th, Jeff Gordon's in 8th, and Joe Nemechek, he's 12th. Remember, he almost spun out on the front stretch.
Oh, he spun out?
Yeah.
He just didn't hit anything.
Right. Spun out and saved it. Johnson to 2nd. Now, last time by, he was 1.2 seconds behind Tony Stewart. This time, 6 laps to go in this segment. And he's about the same gap. We'll see if he can narrow it in these 6 remaining laps. The leader at the end of this segment, $50,000.
Johnson is around Harvick now. I believe he can get to Tony, but he's going to run out of time. Harvick was holding him up a little bit, Larry, and I think if we could have gotten around him sooner, he might have been able to race Tony.
Yeah, because right now, Tony Stewart and Jimmy Johnson, their laps are pretty much mirroring each other.
Whoa, man, who was it? Oh, it was Mikey.
The 15 car.
I don't know how he saved that thing. I really don't.
And he was running up in the 9th position.
He was so sideways you could see the stripes on the right side from here.
Twice.
Yeah.
He did it twice.
Let's have a look here.
It's like Kurt Busch was on the outside of him, Darrell, coming up off turn 4, and that'll tend to make you loose and pull the back end of the car around.
I bet he gets real busy. Watch that steering wheel start.
The hand will tell the
Yeah, whoa, baby, whoa, baby.
That's at about 160, 65 miles per hour. Here's a transfer spot right here. Rusty Wallace on the outside of the 2 car. Ricky Rudd in the 21 car.
Rudd has done a great job of fighting back. He was out of it. He's been trying to come back. He's been alongside Rusty, had a little position on him. Rusty's held him back, held him off for now.
3 laps to go in this segment.
Dick Bergman.
As soon as Jimmy Johnson passed Kevin Harvick, he heard in his radio, "Go get Stewart," and he has been trying to do that. Johnson's car handling well, but just a little bit loose, so they have some more speed that they can adjust into that number 48, currently running in second, Mike.
He's trying, but it's not making a difference on the watch.
I think the problem is, I think when he got around Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, I think they told Tony, don't let that 48 car get to you, because Tony stepped it up a notch.
I mean, right now, Jimmy Johnson on that last lap with 2 to go, he beat Tony about 1/10 and a half on that lap. But he's 1 1/4 seconds behind him.
Yeah, and once Rusty got around Ricky Rudd there in the 21 car, he's been able to pull off a little bit here too. But he better not slip, because that is for the transfer spot.
Rusty looking for a little revenge, perhaps. Not on Ricky Rudd, but on this race. Last year, he was eliminated in the first segment, crashed and finished last in the Winston.
And really hurt himself a lot worse than he thought. He broke his foot, or I think he broke his toe, actually, and he didn't realize it for a week or 2.
1 lap to go in this segment. There you see Tony Stewart, the leader, coming off turn 2. There you see the transfer spot, Ricky Rudd and Rusty Wallace.
And the way they're doing this is a little different than was explained to us. 40 laps will be the last scored lap of this segment, but they will not flag the 40th lap. They'll let the field come around and flag them next time.
Boy, did you see Jimmy Johnson off turn 4 that time?
He was trying. He's giving it all he could.
40 laps, and the first segment is over.
And here comes Rudd. He's back up to the back of Rusty's bumper. He's going to come around on the outside. Rusty better stay on the gas. Rudd's there. Rudd's there.
He's got room.
Rudd's going to make it. Rudd's going to beat
Rudd
him.
beat him. Rudd beat him. Ricky Rudd will transfer. Rusty Wallace will go home. That's called what you call wanting it.
He just got up on that outside, and sometimes you can really get a lot of momentum off of turn 4 by using a high line, and that's exactly what he did. And you have to give Rusty a lot of credit. He gave him room.
Tony Stewart will pocket $50,000 for leading the first segment. Here's the battle to the line for 20th spot.
And you see both guys are fighting their cars, and Rudd had that great run up high off of turn 4 and was able to get around Rusty. Rusty knows he's there. His spotter's telling him he's outside, outside. Rusty gives him enough room to get through. Had the speed to get back to the line first.
Everybody takes a break, catch their breath, let their pulse rate settle down.
I'm glad, aren't you?
Work on these cars a little and come back out for segment 2.
I'm going to put you in timeout.
You're watching the Winston on FX. The Winston on FX is brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser. All the cars are on pit road getting serviced. Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR, sponsors the Bud Pole Award given to the fastest qualifier at each NASCAR Winston Cup point race. Here are the Bud Pole winners so far this season. About 8 minutes remaining in this first segment break. Between periods, if you will.
And yeah, this is basically a timeout. I mean, the biggest thing that goes on is what you see right there. This is something that crew chiefs and drivers don't get a chance to do at any given Winston Cup race, and that's sit there and talk and think about your race car. The work they can perform on pit road, it's pretty much the stuff you would see on a normal pit stop, but you have this discussion time to talk about it, what we might want to do, and you're really wanting to pick his brain now that this is only 30 laps. What was the car like the first 30 laps of that race? I don't care about the last 10 laps because we don't have to go that far now.
How are timeouts for the driver, Darrell? Is this a good thing or not such a good thing?
Sometimes it can be a good thing because, again, it gives you a chance. You get frustrated out there on the racetrack. you got things wrong with the car you'd really like to stop and fix. Tonight you have that opportunity. And sometimes it's really good to come in and get a nice cold drink of whatever, Gatorade or Coke or whatever these cats drink nowadays, and go back out there and try it again.
So 20 drivers advance to segment 2. There are the first 10 finishers. And you see down through 20th, Ricky Rudd highlighted because he is the final transfer spot. The non-advancing teams, Rusty Wallace, Jamie McMurray, Elliott Sadler, and Johnny Benson will pack it up.
You know, I'm sure Rusty he's probably glad to get out of here because they had a bad break on a pit stop last night, had the second quickest time, had a lug nut loose, got penalized, had to start in the back, doesn't make the transfer. He's probably glad this Winston's over with.
It is for him. Here's Dick Berggren.
With Jimmy Johnson, who is absolutely flying out here tonight. How is the car?
The car's good. It's a handful, but it's fast. So.
Now, what do you mean it's a handful? What's it doing?
I'm loose. But loose is fast, and you know, last year we thought the track continued to tighten up, and in the last segment we weren't free enough. So we're starting a little bit freer, and as long as I can hang on to it, I think we got a good shot at this.
So far, so good. Chris Myers?
All right, thank you very much. A Visa Race Break from the Hollywood Hotel with Jeff Hammond. So now we have 20 cars and 30 laps before we get down to 14 cars and 20 laps. And what did you think of what we saw just moments ago?
Well, I think we saw a little bit of strategy going on right now, Chris, as far as the pit stops are concerned. But now what's important is how do I make sure I don't get caught in that 14th position as far as not making it into the $1 million run. That's what's so important right now. Right now, Tony Stewart really looks like he's got the car to beat along with Jimmy Johnson. So these guys have got to be careful not to get themselves in trouble. Right, Matt?
Yeah, Matt?
Well, you're exactly right. Dave Rogers, Greg Zipadelli, Doctor Who, and Jimmy Makar are talking things over and what to do to this race car. And Tony Stewart, how is this race car? Looks mighty fast.
If you think it's fast, if we get it right, it's going to be bad fast. And it was a little bit loose that time. We're going to make some changes and get it tightened up. Talk to Zippy and the guys on the Home Depot team. And Monte Carlo is pretty fast right now.
Now, you said in the pre-race that your goal was to win every single segment. You're a third of the way home.
Yeah, I guess it's like that horse race, the Triple Crown. That guy got got his second one of the 3 today. So I don't know. Wait and see. It's a long day still.
Tony Stewart showing his funny side.
And, you know, I just want to expand on what Jimmy Johnson was telling Dick Berggren. I talked to Chad Knaus yesterday. No matter if they win this race tonight, this will not be the car they run next week. Because in the wind tunnel, this car showed a lot of front downforce and not that good a rear downforce on the rear spoiler. But he said, Larry, we'll have to work on it to make it drive good, but it should be fast for a short race.
Coming up, segment 2, and a look at some of the changes that were made on these cars in the timeout.